Hello everyone, my name is Chance Brunton, and welcome back to Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward. I'm joined once again by Tyler.
Hello.
Last time we completed the G-OLM Bay area, and now we can meet up with everybody else. One thing that we picked up that I'm really interested in is we now have the thing that I think will open up the back of Kay's head. So I hope we'll get a chance to use that.
Mm-hmm.
You guys ready? I'm gonna open the door.
Go ahead. I'm all set.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. There's the countdown we all know and love. You found it. Cue Five Nights at Freddy's. Yay! What the hell? Was that you, Luna?
No.
Then Alice?
You honestly think a voice that coarse could come from a throat as fine as this?
Then...
Oh yeah, that was me, mate. Oi! Over here!
Sigma, look! What is that?
Oh, one of the robots.
Oh,
Yep.
blimey, that hurts.
Why is he Cockney?
Ain't right for a fellow's back to feel like this.
It's a robot.
And it's talking.
With an accent.
Can't help it, Flower. Didn't choose to talk like this, not by half. Now, Alice, darling, do I rightly recollect you characterising my speech as coarse?
I mean,
Well,
yeah,
that's
fair.
quite cruel it is. You really think I asked for this? See, they figured they'd give us all a, personality.
And now he's gone Southern American?
Some tosser thought they'd give me this one. It ain't right, I tell you.
So, what the hell are you?
Cooper.
If you're a barrel maker, I'm an astronaut. That was pretty good.
Right you are, me old son, right you are. Well, go on, have a butcher's, mate. What do I look like to you? Robot, you say? Well, nearly there, but they call us golems round here.
Golem? Oh, I've heard of golems. They're sort of monsters, I guess, from Jewish folklore. They're made from clay, and they look like men. They're supposed to do whatever their master, or creator, or whatever commands them to do.
There's also that one from Lord of the Rings.
A very different one. That one,
Yeah.
like, hoards thing. That one's just a hoarder.
Yeah.
You are, of course, correct. The golem of myth is a clay creation that moves under its own power. Our spellings are might different, though. The original blokes are spelt G-O-L-E-M, but me and me mates are G-A-U-L-E-M. That's an acronym for General Purpose Autonomous Labour Electronic Machine. The truth to tell, it's a bit rubbish when you write it out all like that, but I figure they wanted to make sure they had the golem thing in there, you know, what with us being robots and all.
Yeah, it's a backronym.
Mm-hmm.
So should I just call you Golem? Or Gollum, I guess, in their pronunciation.
That don't seem quite kosher. After all of me mates here are golems too.
It's sort of like mull, I guess, is their spelling. Sort of like mulling from a bear.
Mm-hmm.
What should we call you then?
Well, we've all got a product ID, and they're unique. I figure that's as good a name as any.
And your ID is?
GTM-CM-G-OLM.
Whoa!
That's way too long. We can't remember that.
What? You taking the mickey out of me? Never had a problem myself. Right then, let's just
You
use the
also have
last
perfect
bit, shall we?
memory.
Yeah.
G-O-L-M?
Golem.
Come on, man. That's just Golem.
Well, I'll be buggered. Can't say I ever noticed that before. Sure, it's a strange coincidence, isn't it?
All right, Gollum. You said Alice, darling, a little bit ago, right?
What? A gentleman can't say something nice to a pretty young bird, eh?
No, I don't care if you call her darling. What I'm saying is, you called her Alice. How did you know her name?
Oh, she ain't the only one of you lot whose name I know.
Oh, tell us K's.
I know who you are, Sigma, and you too, Luna. I'm right familiar with all 9 of you.
How?
You don't know? Oh, they got cameras all over this place. Well, then again, the lenses aren't much bigger than a screw. And they're all hidden away, so I suppose I can't really blame you for missing them, you know? Now, as I was saying, there were these cameras, you see, and all of the data they record gets sent off to the mainframe in real time. So, I just gave the main core a ring, got those videos, and now I know everything you've done.
Oh. I mean, that's still some good information, I guess.
Yeah.
Then...
Does that
You
mean...
could also just have been told by Zero, or like
could have
programmed in.
I mean, it's essentially could be the same thing. I mean, Zero would have to give permission, I assume, for him to be able to access the core.
You're Zero Jr.?
Cool, blimey. Are you bleeding serious? Oh, you gotta be off your box if you think I'm Young Master Zero. The Young Master is a right proper AI what supervises all the electronic bits and bobs in this place. My humble self, and those with the misfortune to be like me, are more akin to computer terminals who are merely borrowing a little bit of the central core.
So, yeah. How do they say it?
Golems.
Golems are
Yeah,
kind
just-
of like Zero Jr.'s servants.
Yeah, just like any other way you would say golem, I guess.
Yeah, it's just I always say golem, and so this is going to throw me off a little bit.
No, not quite, Governor, not quite. I'd say me and me mates here are more like arms and legs, right? Now, you lot don't have brains in your arms and legs, do you?
Of course not.
Right you are, missus. It'd be all sorts of nasty if your elbows and that lumpy bit on your ankle was all packed with brains. Well, we're like your arms or legs. The golem's seat of consciousness, so to speak, ain't in the head. Fact of the matter is, it's not anywhere in the body, which makes a fellow wonder, where is it?
In the mainframe?
Spot on. So that part of me what thinks is in the mainframe. Everything this here body sees and hears and what have you, that all gets sent back there. Then the mainframe does some sort of computery jiggery pokery and comes up with some decisions, and those decisions beget commands. Now those commands are sent over the wireless like boop boop boop, and eventually my body picks them up. Finally, those commands cause actions what move the various bits in my body. That's why this thing's like a computer terminal, you see. The body's just an output device of sorts. If we were talking about one of them personal computers here, you could say a golem's kind of like a monitor, eh?
Huh? Oh, wait a minute. Then wouldn't that make you part of Zero Jr.?
Well, I suppose you could say that. What with us sharing the mainframe and all.
It's a different process.
But I don't know shit all about this game he's running. That part of the mainframe's locked away from the rest of us. I'm an independent core. Zero and I are 2 different blokes. You recollect what Golem stands for, huh? I'm autonomous.
But if that's the case, your hands and feet analogy doesn't really make sense. My arms and legs aren't autonomous. They don't just move on their own. It depends.
Yeah,
You sure,
they're
Governor?
gonna go into that.
Watch you cross your arms just now.
Huh?
And now you're frowning and your forehead's getting all wrinkly. Do you do these things on purpose? Well, when you crossed your arms, were you thinking, right then, let's cross them, shall we? Curl on down then, mouth. Oh, and eyebrows. I'd be much obliged if you'd squeeze in a bit. There's a good pair of blokes. That's what you was thinking, innit? No? Didn't reckon so. I figure you did all of that subconsciously. Ain't no man on earth who says to himself, feeling a mite nervous, I'll just twitch me leg around a bit, you know? Who's thinking real hard about something and says to themselves, well, I think I'll just give the old loaf a scratch, that'll help. How's about when you reach for your tea? when you turn a page in your book? Or what about when your eyes just go straight for the pair on that bird you fancy?
I mean, so far he has only listed things that I do consciously and not things I do unconsciously. Am I just unusual?
I don't know.
The list goes on, me chums. But all of those things are your subconscious at work. Now, true, when part of your body does something, it's because your brain said so. But that don't mean your conscious mind is involved. Fact is, it can't be. If your brain had to deal with all the piddly bits of living, it'd make you balmy.
There's also, like, I guess
That's how
this
us
more
golems and
specifics
young
about
monks
it,
to
like,
get along.
you aren't thinking to yourself, like, if you were to walk, you wouldn't think to lift your left leg and lift your right leg and so on. You would just think walk, sort of.
It's just like, it seemed to me that all of the particular examples he was picking at were poor examples, because, like, in my case at least, I do those things consciously, not subconsciously. So, like, his point is correct. I just didn't think that those were great examples.
You got it all sorted now, chums?
Also, I like how they give,
Zero
like,
Junior is
such
the
an
central
important
part of the main
explanation to
and the golems
a
are
character
like
with
his
a really
hands and
thick
feet.
accent and, like, different speech patterns, sort of.
Righto! Blimey. Guess I shouldn't be talking about such heavy rubbish, eh? My shoulders are all stiff.
You're a robot. How can your shoulders get stiff?
And you said your back hurt earlier. Are you just messing with us?
Yes, I did. And no, I ain't. Me back is a right mess, it is. Last maintenance check, they just left me here. I've been on this bed here for years. The lubricant for me joints is all gummed up. Every time I move, it hurts.
But why did you wake up again after all this time?
Why do you think, love? 'Cause you lot turned me on is why. Especially that other missus over there.
Oh, yeah. That button on top of the safe.
Right you are, governor.
Can you come with us then? The others need to see this.
No, I can't, and more's a pity. I can only go as far as this cable here will let me. I got internal batteries, but they're knackered. Matter of fact, that's why I was here for maintenance in the first place. The same goes for these other blokes too. Of course, they ain't connected to a power cable like I am, so they aren't going anywhere anytime soon.
I see. So, you aren't going to answer my question?
Huh? What question is that?
I asked you how your shoulders can get stiff if you're a robot.
Right, so you did. Not sure why you've got to bug up your arse about that particular issue, though.
He did answer that, though, with the lubricant problem. More's the question is, why can he feel pain? Well, I mean, I guess it's not really important, but I'm just curious, I suppose.
Curious, are you?
Yeah, but, like,
That's
I guess
a good word, that is.
it's sort of weird to say, like, the robot wouldn't really feel the stiffness, probably. Because the robot presumably can't really feel anything.
Well, I could understand him feeling stiffness in terms of, like, electrical resistance as the motors are trying to turn.
I
that
guess,
it will,
yeah.
you know, that I'm sure that the robot would be able to detect. But pain is a bit of an unusual one.
A good, powerful word. The kind of word that will set any robot's heart to flutter. Let's get you sorted then, shall we? Just lend me your lords and peers for a tick. So, how can a robot get stiff shoulders? And what does pain mean to a robot? Tell me, Guff, you ever heard of the Chinese room?
We read something about it. Without waiting for an answer, Gollum launched into his explanation, right? Or is it this Golem?
I don't really know, but it's whatever way you want to pronounce Gollum, probably.
It would make sense if this was Golem to distinguish it from Gollum being the general term.
Well, the
Because that
point
was
is
his
sort of
complaint in
that,
the first place.
the point is sort of it's a joke that it is the same thing, so...
Yeah, true. So, Gollum launched into his explanation. Somewhere, a pretty young girl is trapped in a tiny room. The door of the room has a slot that a number of Chinese people outside the room can use to slide slips of paper to the girl. On the pieces of paper are questions written, naturally, in Chinese. Unfortunately, the young lady has no idea what the questions say. But then, how could she? She's never learned Chinese. Apart from a Hong Kong action movie or two in college, she's never even heard of it. Or heard it. So, for this unfortunate young lady, each note looks like nothing more than a bunch of strange symbols. Before she was locked away, she was given an order. Specifically, she was told to write an appropriate response to each question she received, and slip that answer back through the slot. Once the Chinese questions began to show up, however, she finds herself at a loss. "Oh dear," she says to herself. "Why can't I read these at all? Whatever am I to do?" It is at that moment she spots a bookshelf. The bookshelf is filled with thick books. Upon examining them, she discovers they are some sort of Chinese phrase books. They have no explanation of what anything means, but show Chinese responses to Chinese questions. Am I supposed to use these? The questions keep coming. More and more of them. She finds the set of characters that correspond to the set of characters on the paper, and carefully writes out the indicated response. How's it going? It's awful. Please get me out of here. Are you hungry? Yes, I am. I haven't eaten anything since breakfast. Here, they give her some twice-cooked pork. Are you full? Yes, although I don't think my stomach liked it very much. How is she responding appropriately if she doesn't know what she's putting back?
Well, they just said that she has like a phrase book where it's like...
I thought you said it didn't explain it.
It didn't explain it, but we're auto-translating sort of to English. So she doesn't actually know that she's saying it's awful. It might be like really pleasant in the room because it's got like a chair and a bunch of books if she likes those. Maybe
what?
She actually did eat recently or something, but she doesn't know that that's what she's saying to them.
I don't understand. She doesn't have any idea what they're writing.
Yeah, she doesn't know what they're writing, but she sees, like, there's for some reason a book that just has questions and the appropriate responses, both written in Chinese.
But it doesn't tell her what those questions and responses are.
No, but she just, like, transcribes them back just because she thinks it's the right thing to do.
What bothers me, though, is, like, in this case, it makes sense. Like, are you full? Yes, although I don't think my stomach liked it very much. But, I mean, she could just as easily have picked no. But the answers are consistent across multiple questions. Because they say, are you hungry? Yes, I am. Then they give her food, are you full? And then she says yes. Whereas, like, if she was picking these at random, I would expect her to be answering yes or no questions wrong 50% of the time, I guess is my point.
Yeah, I guess.
She's always seems to be answering the questions appropriately.
Yeah, at least semi-appropriately, but I guess it's just for the sake of keeping the illusion that she knows what she's talking about to the other people.
That's what's making me question, like, did I misunderstand something? Because they said that she doesn't have any clue what any of this is. So I wouldn't imagine her to be able to do this at random. At least I think not likely.
It's just pure coincidence that, like, because there's only been 3 questions and only 2 of them have been ones, or only the most recent one could have been gotten wrong, sort of.
Okay. Do you have a boyfriend? Yes, I'm dating a reggae dancer.
Yeah.
Why was that even in the book?
Yeah, these are very specific responses, too.
Who needs this phrase book? When was your first kiss? When I was 14. He was a grade ahead of me in school. What color of underwear are you wearing? Black. What's the first thing you're going to do when you get out of this room? Beat the stuffing out of whoever's sending me these questions with the pan you cooked that twice-cooked pork in. Again, very specific response for the phrase book.
Yeah, that one's definitely just a joke, though, by G-OLM, I guess.
All these questions were written in Chinese. And the answers were also written in Chinese. All the young lady did was accurately copy the symbols from the phrasebooks onto the slips of paper, with no idea what any of it meant. Incidentally, she doesn't have a dancer boyfriend. In fact, she's never even kissed a boy. Also, she's wearing white underwear. Anyway.
Yes?
Is there any particular reason this girl is, pretty? Or why we need to know what color underwear she's wearing?
It's a very important detail to the story.
Can't say there is. Just tickles me fancy, I guess. But the prettier the bird is, the more fun the story is, isn't it?
See, I think that they should have had Sigma interject with that one. Exactly!
Close enough.
What?
What?
Right. Well, what I wanted to say was this. All them Chinese blokes outside the room didn't know nothing about them books what she had. So it follows that they would have thought whoever was inside spoke Chinese just like them. You see? After all, far as they can tell, they're having a nice little chinway with one of their countrymen.
Okay, interesting. But what does that have to do with your shoulders? Or a robot feeling pain?
You thick? I feel pain when my body's having a spot of bother. Well, hold up, mate, this ain't right. We keep this up and we're buggered. If things go really pear-shaped, we'll be brown bread. So says the central computer to itself, seeing that things are a bit bollocksed. In the interest of extricating my body from this unpleasant predicament, the mainframe sends out a signal over the wireless, and my software interprets that signal as pain, and I stop doing whatever daft thing I was doing. It's the same, innit? Just like the Chinese room.
So you're saying the robots feel pain differently than humans, right?
Use your loaf, missy. You listen to a word I've said. A human feels pain when you do something you shouldn't, like sit your bum down on a tack, right? Same thing for us robots.
Yeah, it makes
If you feel
sense.
like being clever about it, there ain't really that much different between a human and a robot. Forget all about that mainframe and signal bollocks, and us golems ain't that different from the bird in the room. So think about it, love. How do you know humans ain't the same, just without all the electronic-y pony, huh? What if, when someone asks you a question, all you're doing is pulling out the right answer from some sort of phrase book in your brain?
That's assuming that I get the answer right, which I usually don't.
Ain't no way to prove that, of course, but far as I can see, there ain't no reason to. I mean, it's all the same, innit? If you're
There are
actually
some
thinking
phrases sort of like that,
creature,
like
just some
asking
kind
someone,
of
how are you?
language
You usually just
processing
expect
machine.
good as a response.
Yeah.
All what matters is if the person next to you does what a human ought. Looks like a person, acts like a person, and talks like a person, then it's probably a person. You want to live a normal life? That's all you need to know.
Hey, can I ask you something?
Lay it on me, governor.
Why'd you stop us?
Ah, right you are, mate, right you are. Got so carried away I near forgot. Haven't seen anyone for yonks, and I got a mite excited is all.
Just spit it out.
Right. Well, there was something I wanted to tell you, lot.
What was it?
Patience, darling. Now, I know I might look a bit out of sorts at the moment, but I ain't really supposed to. Same thing for the rest of the blokes here.
They're supposed to have coverings that make them look human, I'm guessing.
Fact is, the reason we look a bit like skeletons is because we are a bit like skeletons. There's this special artificial biological tissue what's called ABT. When a golem's all new and shiny, they've got a nice suit of ABT over that metal skeleton. Makes us look right human, it does. Even feels like real skin, with pores, a little bit of hair, and a few pimples, scars and the like. Truth to tell, I doubt you'd be able to tell the real from the fake, even if it was right in front of you. See, right in the middle.
Uh-oh.
Command violation. Rogue processes detected.
No!
Product ID GTMCMGOLM. Executing emergency deactivation.
R.I.P. Golden.
So he wasn't supposed to tell us that.
Unit GTMCMGOLM now inactive. No other rogue processes detected in additional Golem platforms. Returning to surveillance mode.
Did Zero just shut him down? That doesn't make a lot of sense, though, because it sounded like the thought processes weren't really local, so you wouldn't really need to burn the robot. You'd want to shut down the processor internal to the computer.
I guess
Right?
it's sort of like the autonomous thing. They can't really fully control him because he's autonomous, so they have to like completely, at least shut him down as soon as possible, which might be done just by like frying him.
It looks like it.
Damn it!
I wonder what he was trying to tell us.
He's trying to tell us that one of us, at least one of us, is a robot.
See, right in the middle of...
Right in the middle of what?
Oh, I just noticed it was spelled mid without the
An
L.
ambidex gate has been opened.
It was?
Yeah, Sigma's response in the memo, probably, or log, rather. Right in the mid. Sigma's response.
It says right in the middle of what?
I don't see an L.
God, no, yeah, you're right, there's no L. I see it now. My eyes just skipped over it like 10 times because I was expecting to see middle.
Yeah, and because the D's right next to where the L would be.
Yeah, so you get that vertical line. That's a good catch.
45 minutes remain until ambidex game polling closes.
What the hell?
Someone on the other team must have opened it.
Shit! Why would they do that?
Hurry!
Right, let's go. Dio losing patience again.
Yep.
So is this just Dio getting bored again? There stood 5 Dio and K.
I forget if there's much different. There is obviously the differences in who's responding.
Yeah.
This time, Phi, probably.
Oh yeah, normally these guys aren't here.
There's
Hey,
usually,
what the hell, guys?
There's usually the people who are with Dio, which is 2 people.
Yeah.
But
Why
You've
did you open
definitely
the
never
AB
seen
gate
Phi
before everyone
with
got
Dio.
back?
I apologize. We only turned away for a moment.
Dio opened it.
You got a problem with that?
Of course we do.
Why? I don't remember us all promising we wouldn't open the thing until everyone showed up.
This isn't about promises. Are you stupid or just an asshole?
Probably both.
I was about
also
to
the
say that.
This is also the first time that Temioji was with Quark in the time frame where Quark collapses.
Oh yeah.
We were able to get back here in time. But what about the others? Tenmyoji, Quark, and Clover are still out there somewhere. What
He
were we
also
planning to do
collapsed
if they
a little
didn't
bit
get back in
earlier.
time?
What?
He also collapsed like a little bit earlier, because usually
Oh,
it
that's true.
happens in the rooms.
I forgot that he was already starting to collapse before we went in anywhere.
Nothing. Why would I have to do anything? Didn't you hear the voice? Anybody who doesn't get back in time to vote just gets their vote automatically set to ally. Seems pretty strict. So what if they don't get back in time? They'll all get set to ally and all 3 of them will get 2 BP. Sounds like a sweet deal to me. Tenmyoji's only got 1 BP. I figure he'll be pretty happy to get 2 more. And that'll put Quark and Clover up close to 9. So that's not too bad for them either. In other words, they ought to be thanking me.
Didn't you guys find a note?
What? What's this?
We found it in our safe. Read it.
Here are some more AB game rules for you. Not voting is not an option.
This time it's
Both
not
parties
you reading,
refuse
but
to
Dio.
vote.
Yeah. Which is a nice change, because Sigma has had to read everything.
Yeah.
Then every bunny gets penalized. In other words, 1 person out of every color group of 3 has to vote. What the hell, man? This wasn't in our room. Back me up here, guys.
He's right.
There was no such note in our safe.
Oh, well, damn. That's a bummer. I'd never have opened the gate if I'd known about this.
Really?
Of course.
I'm worried about the others. If time runs out,
They'll be penalized, yes.
I know.
Quark is part of that team. Maybe something happened with him.
He seemed a little off before we headed into the chromatic doors.
This is bad.
Well, I guess we have to go look for them. Hey, wait a minute. Where's Alice? She was here just a minute ago. She's run off to find Clover. Or she's had another breakdown. Or she's planting a bomb. That could be what she's doing. It took me only a moment to spot her. She was several yards away and kneeling down to look at something on the floor. What she was looking at, I couldn't tell. I was about to head over and see what was going on when... Well, that certainly looks suspicious. If she doesn't come back and say, "Hey guys, I found a bomb!" Even then... Whoa! Hey guys!
Quark! Has Quark been here?
Did something happen to him?
Uh-oh.
He disappeared.
Disappeared? What do you mean?
I mean, he's gone. We can't find him anywhere. When was the last time you saw him?
We were heading back here.
Tenmyoji and I went into the lounge, but Quark didn't follow us.
We turned around and started calling for him, but...
When he didn't respond, we ran back the way we'd come.
And you couldn't find him?
Right.
We thought maybe he just hadn't seen us go into the lounge.
So we checked the crew quarters and the infirmary.
But he wasn't there either.
Looks like we're gonna need to find him fast.
All right. We need to split up. If we can't find him in any of the Floor A rooms, we'll move to Floor B.
Okay. I need to go tell Alice. You guys go on ahead.
Right, you do that. Oh, I really want to know what Alice is doing. It looks like she's got to be planting a bomb or finding a bomb in that position. I'm willing to believe that maybe she's finding a bomb, but it looks awfully suspicious.